The city of Buffalo has a newly elected mayor for the first time in 2 decades. You're looking live at the Democratic Watch Party at the town ballroom here downtown, as we're hearing now from Democrat Sean Ryan, who won tonight. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this election night 2025. Jeff Russo, along with senior reporter Michael Wooten and 7 News political analyst Bob McCarthy. We want to show you this real quick. Democratic State Senator Sean Ryan heading to Buffalo City Hall after a landslide victory tonight. The AP calling this race right around 10:15. Want to show you the results. 72% of the vote for Ryan tonight. He's speaking right now. The new mayor of Buffalo, Sean Ryan, at the town ballroom. Let's listen in.
They invited me into their warm houses to sit at their kitchen table. They told me their concerns. We talked about the hopes for the future of our city. One person after another told me their most cherished memories of a better Buffalo. They pointed at vacant lots, and they told me about neighbors who used to live there. They told me about the block parties they used to have. They told me about the prides they have in their neighborhood. But they told me how badly they wanted their children and grandchildren to experience the best version of Buffalo, just like they did. These folks have never lost hope. They never lost faith that a better Buffalo was possible. And I took those conversations to heart. But I also heard about a city government that has been failing at the basics for too long. Filling the potholes, plowing the streets, fixing the community centers, opening the pools. All these little things, they add up to a lack of trust in city government. Every person I talked to agreed that Buffalo deserves better. Yeah. So I made my campaign about delivering on the basics. For the last 11 months, I brought this message to voters. We can get the little things right, and we can take on the big, tough issues like poverty, lead poisoning, and affordable housing crisis. These will be my priorities. I spent time in every corner of the city. I've been in homes, music festivals, picnics, churches, parades, rallies, community forums. If something was going on, I was there. But everywhere I went, our message of change was resonated. Then came the June primary. With the support of many people in this room, we knocked it out of the park in June. We celebrated that night. Then we got back to work. But that leads us all to tonight. And the people of Buffalo have spoken again, louder, clearer, and more resoundingly. They said, Buffalo deserves better. And to these people, I say it's an honor of a lifetime to have been elected as the next mayor of City of Buffalo. We have a lot of work to do in the week, months, and years ahead. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The road ahead is going to be challenging. The city's finances are a mess. Job one is figuring out how big our budget hole is. Job two is figuring out how to fix it. But I'm up for the task. I'm ready to get to work with my new colleagues in the city council. And I'm ready to lead a transformation of the city of Buffalo. But here's what I know. We have the things that make a great American city. We've got our Niagara River, our Lake Erie, abundant fresh water, a beautiful waterfront. We have museums, theaters, a live music scene that other cities would kill for. Can't forget about our sports. We have the Bills, the Sabres, the Bandits, the Bisons, and all the die-hard fans. And for my money, we've got the best people of anywhere in the world. It's easy to see the potential we're working with. We just need to bring it all together and make it mesh. I'm ready to make Buffalo a city that thrives on imagination and creativity, a city that is responsive and effective and focused on its resident. Isn't that the Buffalo we deserve? Do you think we can build that Buffalo? Are we going to get the better Buffalo in our future? We know we're going to make it happen because we've got that belief, and I'm going to have a great team behind me. But I couldn't have done any of this without so many of the people that I want to thank. and I'll try to thank as many as I can. Campaigning, it's tough on families, and my family has been through many campaigns now, but I couldn't do it without their support. To my wife, Kathy, thank you for always being at my side. She loves hearing this, but let's hear it for the next First Lady of Buffalo. And to my daughters, Kate, Bridget, and Aaron, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, many of whom are behind me today, a lot of whom traveled from far away. Thanks for your constant support. I want to thank every volunteer and every person who went out day after day after day, and they did the hard work of campaigning. This celebration is as much yours as it is mine. And thanks to everyone at the Democratic Committee and to our chairman, Jeremy Zellner, for your support and all the hard work we've done to bring us to this moment. Let's hear it for the Unity Coalition, the Working Families Party, our City Action Buffalo, and every other group who's put their energy behind the campaign. But let me just tell you this, the backbone of my support, the people who've been with me from day one, is organized labor. Let's hear it for the unions. Let's hear it for Denise Abbott and the Central Labor Council, every union, public and private, that stood with me throughout the campaign. I'm so proud that we have been the campaign of organized labor, and I thank every union who helped bring this victory home. Yes. And thanks to my campaign team. These are people who don't sleep, they work tirelessly, they drink coffee. I don't know how they do it. 2 fantastic co-chairs, smart people whose skills complemented one another. Thank you to Sean Cooney and to John Rivera for their great leadership. Thanks to Nick Biling, who's probably happy he could finally have a breath and enjoy his engagement. And for the rest of the campaign team, Max, Janita, Rory, Manny, you put in countless hours and built an incredible ground campaign. Thank you. And to my government team, Cody, Gabby, Ian, Quentin, Joanne, Kate, Bria, Sarah, and Hannah. Running this campaign and also doing a Senate job, it's a lot of work, a tall task. I couldn't have done it without you.
It is the newly elected mayor of Buffalo, Sean Ryan, there at the podium at Town Ballroom. Buffalo electing a mayor not named Byron Brown for the first time in 20 years. A city where it's 6-1, Democrats to Republicans. Bob, this was really Sean Ryan's race to lose after the primary. Your thoughts now as he moves in, or gets ready to move into City Hall?
Jeff, this is, I think the only word for this is an annihilation.
Landslide.
It's just a huge plurality. And what it says to me is that despite having a good candidate with James Gardner, who put a lot of his own money into it, who put a lot of his efforts in it, was a first-class campaign, he had issues to talk about, and he just couldn't get any traction whatsoever. Despite, I think, out-campaigning Sean Ryan during the general election, because Sean Ryan was kind of low-key there in the general election as opposed to his primary effort. So it was Gardner who we saw, and it was Gardner who was out there, and he just couldn't do it. And that tells me that a Republican candidate can't be elected mayor in Buffalo during our lifetime.
Yeah, 6-1, Democrats to Republicans here in the city. All right, Bob, and you say, Michael, you look back to the primary. Sean Ryan had a lot of time to get ready for tonight. It was almost his race to lose back since then.
It was. Sean Ryan was very fortunate during the primary that he wasn't the president of the Common Council and didn't have to step into that role as mayor, because acting mayor Chris Scanlon inherited a mess, right? We know the financial problems with the city. He had to deal with all that. We know how the primary played out. And then, as you say, this was Sean Ryan's race to lose. The difficult part happens now, and Sean Ryan talked about that, right? He said the first step is to figure out how bad the fiscal situation is, because we truly don't know. And that's going to take some time, and then you figure out how to deal with it. But to me, when Byron Brown announced that he was leaving office and we knew there was going to be this big primary race, that was the point at which it was like, you want to be Sean Ryan here. You want to be able to come in after the acting mayor deals with some of these problems and has to raise taxes and do all those things.
Taking a close look at the deficit, poverty, lead poisoning, affordable housing among his priorities now that he's announcing there tonight are Michael Wood and Bob McCarthy.